Being ahead. 2 weeks ago, I found out wife had an affair. I knew something was up and ignored the signs. I finally did and she said everything was okay. She said the in love but not in love to me. Said hasn't been happy. Our issues have always been communication. She has been through a lot, molested as a kid, bad back, pain meds for back weaned off. Now she at her best 15 years later and now she wants to find herself. We had 2 marriage counseling sessions. Second one it won't work since she has no passion or need for me or ever did. We have 3 kids, dream home. She refuses to stop communication with him. I threaten to notify his wife, and when I do that, she gets mad and says that's not me and why destroy their life. I say because mine is. She is cold now. When I look at her, I don't recognize her. So cold. With her past life experiences and parents, she has learned to keep everything inside and show no emotion. I have maybe seen her cry 3 to 5 times in the 15 years we have been married. My life is in turmoil. We are faking it for the holidays. But once Christmas is over, I know it's going to get worse. I saw a lawyer and since I make double her I basically lost half. How can I afford a place to live to spend time with my kids? I have lost the 20 pounds. I went over the monthly financial with her to show her why I have been semi-depressed and checked out according to her. She said I should have told her but I said why have to worry and I wanted the best for her and the kids. She said she isn't a princess. I said you were my queen. I have done everything wrong. Beg, cry, plead, get angry. I gave her the bed when I should have sent her to the cold basement but I am there. I have tried to distance myself. Cause she says we aren't a couple and it's uncomfortable. Unfortunately, when we are all together as a family is the only time I feel okay. Yesterday was an okay day but then at night I get mad cause she didn't help wrap and she said I didn't ask and didn't know what I was doing upstairs. Well you could have asked I said but also said but I know now I discussed you. She said isn't the case. She got her own phone so she keeps in touch with him. Cause of course I accidentally pinged her phone when I didn't believe she was home. I took that app off. That made her super mad. I am lost, emotional wreck for our families and kids when they all find out. Everyone thought we had the perfect marriage. I need advice and non-biased support. Later next week kids are away with their aunt and little guy in daycare and she is planning on going to her parents' beach house for 2 days, since just little guy is here and we aren't a couple so we shouldn't hang out. But her leaving homie feel is wrong. But if I say that it won't come out correctly, how can I get her back? Lucky he lives in Florida. I still love her and 3 weeks life was normal and now it's crap. How this happened so fast and struggling with why I don't get a second chance. I hope she isn't like that. She has never been. Also never thought she'd cheat. It all happened their class reunion night. He flew up for one night, and the classic signs were there. Locked phone, weird private Facebook messages, less time together. I tried to talk the night before cause in my soul I knew and she said everything was fine. We even had sex the night before. I am still messed up over that. I did talk to a lawyer, but there is so much to lose financially. With what I have to pay out, I will never afford a place to keep my kids with me or able to keep them in this house, which they love their school, their friends. The OMW in my heart don't want to destroy but I know she will destroy him. But the way my wife acted both times I threatened she turned so sour and cold, even more usual lately. So, torn. I do get that but we are good co-parents and believe this will end that. I have 3 kids all under 7. My life is a mess. I am working on myself but not sure how. Wastes 15 years and everyone says oh give it 2 more to move on to new relationship. I am 40 I don't have 2 more years to waste. In her head and speaking divorce is destined anyway. This family has heard enough. Why bring more pain to myself because I know she will react against me with my children. Also why do and have to file due divorce? Isn't that expensive and shouldn't she have to pay for that? Also, our current bills, we are pulling our money to pay bills. Can I ask for more from her? My salary pays the mortgage and daycare, and her pathetic check pays everything else. Can I say, hey you wanted this, I am paying this and you can pay the other third? I know without him I have no chance, but she has made it pretty clear this won't work due to her not having any passion for me or needing. I don't believe that 3 kids and 15 years later, we had 0 communication. Her parents have 0 live or communication skills. They love with $ support. So is keeping all this inside. I have seen her cry maybe 5 times in our lives. Even through this she hasn't cried, close, but she keeps saying she can't give me the reaction I need or want. Begging, crying. I know this and why I never pushed her. We still make dinner for each other. We sometimes do coffee. I know it's over. And yes, I must break them up if I have a chance, but not on Christmas. Maybe next week before she goes away or day she goes. It's all a mess and so am I. I gave her our financial situation and she saw what stress I was under trying to cope and all she said was house was a mistake. I told her it was out forever home and once little guy was out of daycare all would work out. But seriously, Christmas and mess up everything for 2 families. I don't think I am that cold. I am not as a piece of crap like her. Yes, she was my piece of crap and mother to my kids, and I have to deal with her the rest of my life, the very little I have left. Her actions are I have feelings for him and never had opportunity to have a chance to see how it would work. Will is now a good time I ask myself. I have every mistake since I learned of them. I did what I thought was right to show her it is a fantasy. and not the real world. Like when the heat breaks or AC shuts down in summer or live through Hurricane Sandy. My life, I feel, has been for nothing. Sadly, I look at my kids and think, should they be here? Meaning, if she was so unhappy why we're together to have them, they should belong to someone else. I thought these emotional episodes would start to pass by now. I am shocked and my soul is rocked. I learning to feel again minutes at a time, not sure of anything or what's right or wrong. I have done everything wrong since the moment I found out. Yes, I am lost. But as I am looking into mirror, I don't know that person. No future, no money, shame and confused. After I file, do I have to leave the house? I have no money to do that. All our money is tied up in this house, and winter in NJ. Not a best time to sell a home you will make nothing on and probably owe. A lot to think about as always. I finally talked to my mom tonight. She was divorced young from my dad who cheated on her a lot. She said don't tell the other woman. She did that and it never got her the reaction she wanted except making her the bad guy. She may have also said that cause she doesn't want to miss her grandkids. I know this marriage won't work, but who knows where or what tomorrow brings. I have made so many mistakes since this came up. Trust me, that's not my wife we are talking about. I don't know who this woman is. It's like living with a cold stranger, a shell of the person I once knew. I am choosing to live like this. I am rallying my support system. 2. Make sure I can make the best decisions moving forward for me and my kids. Problem with my wife, she keeps everything in. She has very traumatic past issues as a kid and very non-emotional parents who never talked or were supportive except for money. She need therapy. She keeps every emotion inside. It's scary, so cold. And I wished she beg, but she can't. Says doesn't have that in her emotional cry out in her. It's sad I watch. She needs to get help. At least to be a better mom when this all over. Cause I am not dumb. I know our life together is over. Yes, fear has crippled me. Never had to see emotional thoughts before. So, she left today for 3 days. Kids are with aunt and son is in daycare most of the day. I asked what is there. She said peace and quiet. I asked if she could have that here. She said no. Then as she left, she said okay I am leaving. All I said was, okay. I wanted to scream, yell, verbally detritus her. But what is the point? It doesn't get me any closer to healing or moving on. But most frustrating is that her uncomfortableness around me would keep her from her son that long. He is 2 and they are very close and now all I will hear is where mommy, I miss and want mommy, think I have been crapping on enough now this. I don't know this person. People say she is severely depressed with all that is going on. I even asked her yesterday if she made herself a therapy appointment, and I stated of course with holiday week it would be tough and she looked sad. But she was at Barnes & Noble yesterday. Hopefully she got a book to read to help herself. At least I get the bed again for 2 nights. But when she gets back, I am really considering staying there and she can freeze in the basement and take the gloves off. My therapist says give her space and do me. Also said don't contact O. Said my wife is in inner turmoil. Yes, we most likely get a divorce and yes maybe she is with him. But I honestly don't give a crap as much anymore. I have my son to take care of and a home to maintain. I have talked to a lawyer weeks ago but of course want $3,000 up front. And I am going to get screwed on alimony and child support anyway. You don't know me or my wife. I need to be nice cause her parents have some money and only possible way to keep kids in my house. Her whole family is emotional screwed. You are all so angry and bent on revenge. How come all the professionals say don't contact O, but you all thinks it's the right thing to do? No one knows my wife, our interaction and early plans for how things are being handled. Yes, she did worst things ever to us, but we have 3 kids and need to make sure we are good so they are good. We also have financial obligations bigger than telling the OMW. There may come a time when I do, and yes, I have no idea what she really is doing or feeling, but she made it perfectly clear we aren't a couple, so my priority is to keep me sane and love my kids if she decided to talk to me finally. You have nailed exactly how I am feeling, but yes, I want what was but seems she doesn't, or isn't showing any signs of it. So why bother? All C are negative, and yes, I am angry and yes, I am tired of keeping this all in. So many say give her space and time. I feel I have lost enough time. Just the consequences for my kids. Is it easier to let it go and move on so I have my kids? She comes home today from being away from her peace and quiet stay. I know in 2.5 days I can't expect a miracle or a total 180, but a lot of people say give space, let her think. All of this hasn't even been a month yet. If she wants to tell the kids when she gets back, I am not going to do that until she is counseling, and that will be a priority cause this woman needs to talk to someone and needs help. She probably needs mess but took 15 years to get off opiates for back pain. I can't see her jumping back on that. Her dad contacted me via text. I told him he needs to ask her. At this point her and them don't have a great relationship and even with them on my side it would push her further away. I am not prepared for any of this, nor did I ever want to be. I could have never done this to her. I am honestly at this moment more afraid of financial hit and time away from my kids, and live for the daily moments I have with them. Right now, I know I lost her and it's on her to find her way back to me if she so feels it. But my meeting with the lawyer got time so pissed. Early estimate is no would owe with alimony and childcare $18.00 to $23.00 a month. That leaves me half to live. How damn fair is that I didn't cheat? I was in this relationship for forever. And now I am messed. New Jersey is a non-blame state, so it's just messed. When divorce is over, all I will have left is personality. Paycheck half going to her, and property will have to sell our dream home. So personality won't go far for a broke homeless dude who makes people laugh. At times I feel she is waiting for me to blow up at her or baiting me into getting angry to almost make her actions okay. Seems more I ignore, and being present angers her. Such games. Update. Things aren't better. We barely talk. It's so confusing how fast I have become the enemy even though I never did anything wrong. Kids are starting to hurt. Seems as much as I am trying to protect them, I actually may be hurting them more. My pain at times is unbearable. The emotional tears, chest pains, lack of appetite, 30 pounds loss in 5 weeks. But she seems so determined to live this entitled, selfish life, regardless of the kids. We have 3 kids and we chose to bring them onto this world, and now she needs her alone time, while I am left with their tears, and she has a rational reason to herself for all her decisions. For first time I riddled with fear, and future is so uncertain. I didn't deserve this. I am an amazing husband dad. It's dealing with a teenager when talking with her. I still go to therapy, but I don't feel I get anything out of it. I rant and she listens and says develop a plan, but I cannot make plans for the future of the kids with this woman who used to be my wife for 15 years in the state and attitude she is in. I have exposed to my family, they don't anything to do with her. I told her parents and sister, but their family is so messed. They push her for fear of not seeing our kids, and she hates the parents, especially blaming them for the way she is. Now my therapist said it would be a massive mistake to do that, would make our fights from a 3 to a 10 and destroy any chance for co-parenting. Also, it's not my place or job to, so confused. Is it that too late anyway to contact I have exposed to families, ignored her, gave space, but she is walled in emotionally. My issue now is her thoughts and arguments are flawed, and she really hurt the kids going away this weekend, and wouldn't tell them. Then come Sunday when we came home from my family's, the girls asked, and instead of a white lie she could have told, she said she was at the Eagles playoff game with work friends. My girls were so jealous and confused. They also had separation issues when she left for work today. Now you can think what you want, and I have, but the guy she had affair with lives in Florida, and I saw the envelope the tickets came in from her work. Regardless what has happened to her, she is totally different person now. I feel like my last 15 years were a lie. Try and keep my wits about me for the future and the kids. There is no changing her mind or us, so yes, I have gone into hiding, so to say, not proud of it, but afraid if I go other way things may take turn for worse, and sense no being able to control oneself. My comment, she will respect you as a man in the relationship when you start acting like one. Just do it. Story 2. The mutual list. Many years ago, before I knew her, my wife was engaged, but the engagement was broken off because she cheated on her fiancé with a man from the school she taught at, the gym teacher. She had a lengthy affair with him. We've been together 4 years, married for 3. She no longer works at the school, but in October of last year, I discovered that she had been in email contact with this same man. I confronted her, and she insisted it was just a stupid decision and it was a bunch of email, that's all. At the beginning of May, I discovered an email exchange between them that had been written in March. It was something like, her, how's it going? I have the entire March break open. When do you get back? Him, I'm in Florida with the kids, but I'll be back next week. Her, great. When you get back, we'll celebrate. So, I confronted her, and she looked like a deer in headlights. Then she explained that she was sorry. She thought she had deleted those and she was just being flirty and knew it was wrong. The skillful way with which she then reached across me, deleted the email, and cleared the trash was concerning. But something I needed to keep digging. I then found some browser cache items. One thing that she forgot is that I'm a computer expert, and when I set my mind on things, I will get everything I am looking for. If it's on the hard drive, deleted or not, I can get it. So, I found a cached Facebook page that had a conversation between them, in which she said, I just looked again at your picture. Yum, TNT say hi. I asked her what does that mean? What's TNT? She explained it was nothing. I pushed. She admitted that it was a reference to her fronts. So, I had to keep digging. I then had the funny suspicion that there was something on her iPhone, because she spent an inordinate amount of time texting. I had always assumed it was her friend Agnes, because these texts would come through as Aggie, but then I noticed another number called Agnes Cell. So, I was perplexed as to why Aggie had 2 entries. I looked at the phone number and didn't recognize the Aggie number. The other number I knew was Agnes's. I looked up the number online, and it resolved to his name. And looking at the texts, I realized there were surprisingly few, and cryptically they were only half conversations. Nothing meaningful. Just yep, I know, that's for sure, no, he didn't, etc. The missing text meant that things had been deleted, and I was concerned as to why exactly she would be deleting texts. So, knowing what I know about computers, I found a way to recover deleted texts through the iPhone backup. So, I started reading her conversations to Aggie. M equals other man, W equals wife. So cute. Where's the camp? I realized there were hundreds and hundreds of texts. I kept going and started to feel really uncomfortable. M, just looked at your pic again. W, can I call? M. Just a bit. Mount away. W. I am in my head. It's nice. M. You're doing what to my head? M. Morning beautiful. W. Home alone this morning. M. I will be soon. Then my world collapsed. W. Can you sneak out now for a quick one? M. I can in maybe a half hour. M. Love it. Might get convertible on Wednesday. W. No. Hubby's birthday. M. Do both then. W. Yes, yes, yes. In my meeting. I feel naughty and like it. Her birthday is December 30th. This was the exchange on December 26th. W. Hubby's out every night this week. M. We are going to play like bunnies. No birthday bang. W. Oh yes please. During the day. She wanted it during the day because I was going to be having a romantic evening with her. I was just horrified to read of this. On the 27th, they went to a school parking lot. W. I can leave in 2. Ready to go. You say the word. Okay, see you soon. M. K. Awesome. That was amazing. You freaking rock. W. You are welcome, sir. That was hot steaming up the car. And from the very next day, I discovered that he'd been at our house while I was working. M. Awesome, on road to your house now. I am moving fast. W. We are good. I am going to give you extra stuff now. W. Sweet. The last apparent interaction between them was April 17. Now, as you can imagine, reading those texts was like reading a horror story. I couldn't stop, but it was literally killing me. So, I confronted her, and she admitted that she'd been seeing him since July, and when I confronted her in October, she just told herself she had to be more careful. But of course, I didn't fully know what was going on then anyway. I trusted her. To make matters worse, I discovered texts and phone calls to another number, and it contained things like him. So you're a piano teacher. You must be good with your hands. Her, I am. I'm also very good with my mouth. It turns out this was someone she met on Ashley Madison. Once I discovered that she'd installed the app on her phone. She says she never actually got together with him. He lives several cities away. Then I discovered she'd gone out one night while I was in hospital. I was in hospital for a month in February and met up with an old student of hers for a drink. She's 30, he's 22. She taught him when she was still teaching at that high school. Some of their texts were oddly explicit, and she admitted that when they were out, afterwards they went into the car together and fooled around. Did you have sex? I asked her. Possibly. We were drunk. Yesterday, I discovered some more texts from last September to another friend of ours. Specifically, he asks, did you check out the website? I looked it up. It's a fetish site. And another few days later, asked her, I have a couple from work who are looking for a lady to join them. You in? I'm numb. She's had slept together 46 more times in the last year than I have. She's begging me not to leave her. She started going to therapy because she can't understand how she did that. She says it doesn't seem real. Like a split personality. She says she can't justify it. She was just totally detached from reality. She's horrified when she reads some of the stuff she wrote. I'm overwhelmed and don't know what to do. I don't want it to be true. But to have read everything I read, it was like I got to relive the entire affair like a fly on the wall. But helpless to stop it. Help. The therapist is saying that it's akin to an addiction, for which she needs help. That it wasn't about cheating, but about an insatiable need to be praised, which she didn't know how to get. She could have asked. So she chose the most despicable coping mechanism. But I've pointed things out to her, old emails from me to her, texts, that show how often I tried to reach out to her, to bring her back because she was so distant. She says I'm so utterly sorry. I didn't even see those outreaches. My eyes were completely closed. I had no concept of consequence, or right or wrong, which is what leads the therapist to say it's genuinely an addiction, for which she needs treatment. My trust is, however, a very, very, very abused thing. I fail to see how I'll ever get it back. I feel sick. Dear God, who did I marry? Comments. You will never be able to trust this splurge bucket if you try to stay with her. Get out now. As an afterthought, your soon-to-be ex sounds like. She could give my ex a run for the prize for spreading them for the most guys. I managed to pull so many trains that she has never been able to pin down who fathered her 2 children while she was living off of me. All she knows is they were 2 different guys, and she doesn't even know the names of the guys she was sleeping with. At least you don't have to pay for any paternity tests. OP responds. That's perhaps the hardest part, is how she seemed to relish in the cruelty of everything. She says to me that she's suffering because of what she did. She feels disgusting, horrified, totally unable to believe what she did, literally hating herself. I'm trying to explain to her that perhaps the hurt I'm feeling might be a little more than hers. That no matter what, addiction, madness, etc., there's nothing more personal than cheating on me. She didn't cheat on everyone, only me. Did I know her history? I was. Of course, I believed it was a one-off thing, a big mistake that someone makes once in their lifetime, learns from, and never does again. She also backed up that belief with her words of disgust and deep remorse for having done that. So, I knew, but saw it as a young, stupid mistake. I didn't realize how much it was actually an indication of a fundamental character flaw. I'm coming to grasp the notion that it's a chronic behavior and not, in fact, the stupid thing that many people do. I was naive. An update. I looked at texts she has recently sent, within the last 4 weeks, and they are essentially, to the we cannot do this anymore. This is disgusting and we've debased ourselves and thrown our loved ones to the curb. Never, ever contact me again. Also, an email to her good friend recently. Oh my god, what the hell did I do? I was chasing the high and the thrill and completely detached myself from remorse or consequence. I feel like the scum on the bottom of a pond. I love my husband so incredibly much. I have been living in a fog. I'm out of it now and I'm horrified with myself. Oh my god, I think he's going to leave me, and I wouldn't blame him. Can I even wish for the miracle that he'll give me another chance? I'm an empty shell of a person. What the hell happened to me? I even don't remember things clearly, like they have been blocked out by some part of my brain. He's reading me texts that I honestly don't remember writing. So disgusting and explicit. I think I'm going crazy because there's this other person next to me that committed this atrocity. I feel like she's not me, because I can't even relate to what I did. It's terrifying. I've hurt him so deeply, and I'm so horrified that I did that to him, and that I am the cause of the anguish he is in. I wish I could take it back. It wasn't worth it in any way. I am going to happily spend the rest of my life making it up to him. If he'll have me, or even look at me. I regret this more than anything in my life, more than I ever thought possible to regret. Where the hell did my empathy and compassion go? It's utter madness. What happened? The 2 therapists I'm seeing agree that it's comparable to becoming addicted to the rush, chasing the hit, regardless of how destructive it was in every way. I'm so glad he found everything. I needed to be rescued from myself. I can't even fathom what I did. And he saw me write all these compliments to the guy, praising him. But I never meant it. I was doing that to boost his ego, which in turn boosted my high. And then once I was going full speed ahead, I needed more, just like a drug. So, I got involved with fetish stuff, dating, cheating sites, even an old student of mine. What the hell? They said the only explanation is the addiction to the euphoria. And in addiction, when the drug of choice no longer works, you increase the dose. Which is what I did. I was deceptive, shrewd, disgusting, and utterly sociopathic. I am going to figure this all out. They think it stems from childhood in some way. I need to be worshipped. I didn't even know it was happening until it was too late. One day it was coffee and how have you been these last few years, to 2 weeks later, have time for a quickie. What the hell? I've screwed up so horrifyingly, I don't deserve him. I can only pray that he will even remotely entertain the idea of working through this. I have trampled on my best friend's heart. I have taken away his sense of structure and belief in the world. I've made it so everything he now believes and remembers is tainted with thoughts and images. Oh my god, why did I ever think it would be okay to go for that first coffee with him? I can't understand it. All I know is, the entire time, I was always complimenting that loser, and when he wouldn't compliment me back, I would actually say, what about me? Do you have a compliment for me? And then say something disgusting to make him compliment me. Why the hell didn't I turn to my husband for all these things that he so amazingly gave to me, without reservation, deception, or mind games? We were uncomplicated and I love him so much. I had to complicate everything. I'm speechless, mortified, and I hate myself. I've eviscerated the one I love. I lost myself. I coped by numbing the guilt with more infidelity. It doesn't even make sense. When I was the most upset in life, I sought to numb it selfishly. When he was in hospital, I was so distraught that I actually cheated on him while he was in hospital. That's absolutely sick. Holy crap. Where the hell did I go? Knowing she didn't write that for me to see, I do believe that she is genuine in what she's saying. I don't know what to do. I hear genuine remorse and guilt, sorrow and appreciation for me, who she threw to the curb. I know there's a thought of don't you see the warning signs and needing to check her email and text. She's being absolutely forthcoming with usernames, passwords, cell phone password, chat software passwords. I also went through the cache and found sites she'd gone to, and she willingly gave the login information for those. She has said anytime you need to check anything at all, I will show you, or give the phone to you, without trying to delete or hide what I was doing in it. I'm so relieved to not have to keep track of 1,000 lies. Final update. 6 years later, we're still together, happily and lovingly married. We now have 2 kids, 2 and 4 years old. The cheating and infidelity did stop, never happened again. She sought lots of help, lots of therapy. We rediscovered each other. Again. I got tougher, found a way to live a bit jaded, but strong and calm. I've found a peace. Life is what it is. My comments. Hope you still keep an eye on her phone. Just like alcoholics, they are just one drink away. People who suffer from that extreme condition do not have memories of the other person. She would not be hiding things from you as the other person, because that person is not married to you. She's sorry she got caught. Make her pay, friend, make her pay.